All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between TGW and what I'm just gonna call Barcode Guy. Well, IL or ILIILLIILLL, all in capital letters. So, Barcode versus TGW. Is that the Lost Temple where you need a Zeppelin to go to the corner red camps? Let me double check this. It is not. There is an actual footbridge behind the Goblin Laboratory. You still need to clear out the Goblin Laboratory to get to the island in the corner, but there is actually a way to walk there. So yeah, a new version of Lost Temple was released. We are looking at a Tree of Life, a very fast expansion attempt coming in from the Night Elf player of Barcode. Meanwhile, we are looking at a very similar thing coming in from TGW. So I'm expecting to see some tavern heroes possibly, as they're trying to set up fast expansions. A Night Elf mirror match here on Lost Temple, both sides opening up with very similar strategies already, as we are looking at an Altar of Elders Moonwell there. There is not an Ancient of War off for TGW as of yet that I see. There's a Hunter's Hall, there is an Ancient of War, and things are already getting underway, waiting for the Priestess of the Moon to make its way down to the south. And I'm actually going to start the game at closer to the 3-minute mark, since there was no heroes out here on the battlefield. All right, heroes out on the battlefield now. Fire Lord and Lava Spawns attempting to clear out this creep camp. Should be able to do it very, very quickly, as that Tree of Life is absorbing quite a bit of damage. Lava Spawns should be able to get a split up here in just a moment, and as the Tree of Life makes its way over, it should be able to root itself and start entangling that gold mine. Similar strategy happening down to the south here, except it was a Priestess of the Moon being trained over a lava spawn. It is going to be the Priestess of the Moon just trying to rack up damage here, but there are going to be Huntresses out on the battlefield as we are going into dual Ancient of War. Thank you for tuning in live. This is already a rather unorthodox game, trying to make predictions as what's going to be happening. Both probably think that they chose Demon Burner. No, in a Night Elf versus Night Elf matchup, Priestess of the Moon versus Priestess of the Moon is not that uncommon. That Fire Lord choice is a Fire Lord choice is a little bit uncommon there. I think I said Fire Lloyd. A Fire Lord choice is a little bit off there, as we are looking at a Tree of Life. Gonna go ahead and finish up the creep camp here. Priestess of the Moon does get to level 3, and it does go for that scout, and will be able to spot creep camps pretty quickly. Meanwhile, though, Barcode Guy is using these lava spawns very efficiently to clear out creep camps as well. He has quite a bit of mana as well, and finishing off that Forest Troll Trapper there. Meanwhile, Priestess of the Moon gonna perhaps head in and come across his opponent here. There is the aggroing of the creeps now. Gonna finish off this Null Poacher. No, try to make its way around the side here and get in a possible flank, trying to see what is gonna go down, as it looks as though the heroes are actually, or the army is actually moving in formation form, as the Huntresses got in front of the Priestess of the Moon right there. All right, so formation moving on a TGW instead of non-formation, as we're looking at the lava spawns trying to get in some shots onto those Huntresses. Low hit point Huntress should try and Shadow Meld, and does in fact Shadow Meld right there, down to 25 hit points, and ends up staying alive. All right, Huntress now going to go ahead and head back into the center portion at that Fountain of Health, regenerate some precious hit points, and perhaps move out a little bit later. We are also setting up Ancient Protectors outside the base of Barcode Guy. That Ancient Protector will be difficult to get taken out here, as the Archer may end up aggroing the creeps. That Glaive Bounce bouncing around and hitting that Rock Golem right there. All right, back off to the north. That Ancient Protector, I do not believe is spotted, but will be spotted out here in just a moment. There's a little bit of an engagement now, as they're going to go ahead and try to hide under cover near this Ancient Protector here. All right, Ancient Protector is in position. Going to go ahead and root itself there. Going to go ahead and try and engage. You can see the archers are all there. There's the reveal, and now here is a flat up fight here. Reveal right there. Archers are trying to pull a belt down that one Huntress. The Huntress, however, well, gonna take 2 reveals in order to get taken out, and now level 2 lava spawns could be summoned up. There goes another Huntress there. Wow, stumbling over my words today. As also the archers are taking quite a bit of damage as well. Wisps are nearby, not quite sure if they need some detonation or trying to do anything else. Multiple reveals being cast against, well, against all of those Huntresses to prevent the shadow meld there more and more, as the, well, lava spawns are now making their rounds out as well. All right. Priestess of the Moon trying to retreat back, trying to get under the cover of this Ancient Protector. There's a little bit of damage there. Lava Spawn going to go ahead and hide. More Huntresses making their way back over as well, as we're going to see another Huntress get taken down. Barcode guy is doing a really good job just punishing TGW, as, well, we now see a level 3 Priestess of the Moon. Level 3 Priestess of the Moon can rack up quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, Priestess of the Moon needs a, well, Staff of Teleportation or Scroll of Town Portal. Get out of here. Save all of these Huntresses, as well as the Ancient Protector is still in position. Multiple Huntresses are alive and well. And remember, TGW does have an expansion of his own. We are only at tier 1, and we are massing up a large number of Huntresses here. Those Huntresses do have a bonus damage because of that True Shot Aura, plus 11 damage on the Priestess of the Moon, plus 6 from plus 6 from the True Shot Aura, plus 5 from that Claws of Attack, as engagement is still going to be getting underway. Ancient Protector attempting to punish the Haunted Gold Mine or not Haunted Gold Mine, Entangled Gold Mine here, as the Priestess of the Moon needs to pick up a Scroll of Town Portal and going to go all the way back around, pick one up, perhaps also a Staff of Teleportation to be able to rejoin in on the battle here and help. All right, there's that Staff of Teleportation inbound. Meanwhile, Naga, Sea Witch, and the Fire Lord are fighting off in the center here, regenerating a decent amount of hit points while trying to level up even further. All right, it looks as though this Tree of Life is now NWS, not worth saving, as this base will get taken down fairly fast. Coming back down to the south here, Fire Lord using this opportunity to clear out these creep camps here. Archers are trying to pelt down, finish off the last of the Null Overseers. There goes one. Another one will get taken out, as Barcode Guide up to, well, low upkeep already. 51 over 60, as we are now going into Hippogriff Riders. All right, Hippogriff Riders. These Hippogriffs need to get, or Ancients of Wind need to get cleaned up, and cleaned up quickly. Otherwise, the Huntresses will have nothing, or not be able to, well, counter any of these air units. The Hippogriffs were canceled on the wrong one. This is not going to be able to make it out. Another Hippogriff could try and get shut down here, as we now see the army is now inbound. All right, there is a couple of Hippogriff Riders there, Priestess of the Moon, and now in comes that Ancient Protector with that big boulder, tracking boulder damage. Well, being able to hit that Fire Lord. All right, this is going to be an uphill battle, literally, as the Priestess of the Moon, Ancient Protector, and Huntresses are all going to have a chance of missing, as they're trying to hit up onto that high ground. All right, down to the south here, I don't see additional Ancient Protectors being placed. And without additional Ancient Protectors, well, they are not going to be able to defend against the 2-3 Hippogriffs that are currently in the air. More Hippogriff Riders being added. We are at Tree of Ages, going into Tree of Eternity. So tier 3, 1 base tier 3 versus 2 base tier 1 right now, as the Owl Scout is just keeping track of these Hippogriff Riders and making sure he knows where they are at all times. Priestess of the Moon looking to, well, try and clear things up here. Scroll of Protection coupled with Scroll of Healing. Archers are going to be able to belt back damage a bit the other way, as the Priestess of the Moon sits at level 3, getting very close to level 4. We could also be looking at, well, Searing Arrows for bonus damage onto that Priestess of the Moon as well. Damage trying to rack up. Low hit point. Priestess of the Moon able to retreat back. There goes a Lava Spawn, giving level 4 to that Priestess of the Moon now. All right. Ancient, well, Scroll of Protection, adding in a little bit of protection there. We are also looking at, are we going to see dual Orbs of Venom eventually, as that Fire Lord Orb of Venom damage over time, coupled with the slow arrows of the Naga Sea Witch really do take quite a toll on this army. 65 supply compared to 55, but it's mass tier 1 versus, well, Hippogriff riders and archers. Lava spawns are in that frontline position. There goes a little bit of damage. Scroll of Healing not in time there, as both sides still fighting their way through. There goes another lava spawn. Huntresses are chasing level 4 now on that Fire Lord. Where's that Fire Lord going to go? Try and retreat back, as he does have a Wand of Mana Stealing, but really not quite sure what he can do there with that Wand of Mana Stealing. Well, obviously he can steal mana, but not going to be effective in the overall fight, as the Priestess of the Moon doesn't need mana, too much mana for what she wants to do. And the Fire Lord, well, those lava spawns seem to just be feeding experience for TGW's army. Expansion trying to be rebuilt once more. Archers trying to pelt down the Hippogriff Riders. Another uphill battle once more. And this is something that we don't get to see very often. This is something that, well, a lot of the maps in the current map pool don't really account for this uphill versus low ground battling. You can see how many of those archers were actually missing, and how big of a advantage that uphill ground is. Now TGW trying to walk up this hill there, and now all the barcode guy needs to do is pull back just a little bit, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal, well, being used there. All right, Scroll of Town Portal to teleport back out. The expansion is still up and operational, still has plenty of mining to go. Meanwhile, barcode guy trying to entangle that gold mine again. So yeah, uphill advantage is very, very large, and something that we saw early on in the Warcraft 3 map pool when it was a transition over from StarCraft Brood War back in 2002. That was when, well, Lost Temple and all of those other maps out there actually had uphill or high ground advantage, and you use that high ground advantage to try and protect and wall off your base. This isn't something that you really need to do all that much in Warcraft 3, as worker harassment isn't as prominent. You don't end up normally having, well, more than 18 workers ever, while in StarCraft Brood War you could easily have up to 24 plus and more workers on gas. Now, with all of that said and done, well, Priestess of the Moon now joining in on the fight as a third and final hero from Barcode Guy. He does have an Orb of Venom as well on that Priestess of the Moon, so that damage over time is going to be racking up by both Priestess of the Moon, also with a Staff of Preservation to try and, well, heal up some of, or, well, Staff of Preservation to keep those units alive and well. Tree of Eternity, 68 over 80 supply. We are looking at a Goblin Alchemist as the second support hero with Acid Bomb. That Acid Bomb removing precious armor, allowing the archers to really just get in significantly higher damage as well. 18 to 24 compared to 21 to 25. The Hippogriff Riders having well, a little bit more, or a significantly more damage right now. 18 to 24, 19 to 25, 21 to 25. Yep, higher damage overall, as well the Owl Scouts are just constantly keeping track of this army. No easy way about it. Coming back down, Priestess of the Moon now going to make its way down to the south here. There's Wisps off to the side, and we could be going into an engagement here. Priestess of the Moon going to try and engage. A little bit of damage here. Owl Scouts in position, as we see Acid Bomb going down across multiple Hippogriff Riders, but their faster movement speed making it difficult. Archer is going to try and attack back here, shoot up onto the high ground. Staff of Preservation saves a Hippogriff Rider as the arrows were flying towards it. All right, a little bit more damage coming back across. Goblin Alchemist does have an anti-air attack, naturally able to attack back. There goes one Hippogriff Rider there. Priestess of the Moon got pelted down, but Ankh of Reincarnation will get it back up, get it back online again very quickly, as the Alchemist needs to get Staff of Preservation. All right, more damage coming back on through. Archers getting pelted down. So many archers onto the ground, 22 to 28, plus that true shot damage. Those archers dealing upwards of 33 damage per attack, and now going to continue to fire back as well. Orb of Venom, however, going to cause quite a bit of problems. There goes another archer there as well. All right, AoE damage, Breath of Fire could perhaps have made a very, very big difference against this mass number of archers, as we are still, well, at maximum heroes by barcode. Perhaps Fork Lightning by that Naga Sea Witch, the level 3 variety, could make a big impact. Fountain of Health, also, well, a point of interest on the map here. Fire Lord Hippogriff Riders healing up nicely and going to try and engage once more. 74 over 80 supply compared to 73 over 80. This is an odd game overall, as more archers are still getting trained up. No one going for any real glaive throwers as of yet. This Hippogriff Rider gonna know what hit him or her, and that is, well, death by 1,000 arrows as it gets, well, shot out of the sky so quickly. Wisp now trying to, well, do some repairs, not going to be able to do all that much. Unit now trying to make their way back. And are we going to see a high ground advantage coming across here again? All right, there goes a little bit of damage. Staff of Preservation actually, well, preserves him back into, off over here, which, well, if they accidentally made their way back through, could reveal them again. All right, more attacks up onto the high ground here. There's going to be some more Orb of Venom damage. Moonwell, however, going to make it very, very easy to heal up that Priestess of the Moon once more. Plus 16 damage on that Priestess of the Moon. Huntresses or Hippogriff Riders actually rallying to that Fountain of Health in the center, and that is some great micro and management on the Barcode guy's point. He's just constantly doing harassment, and he's going to try and keep these Moonwells filled up as much as he can while making TGW, well, deplete his resource. If he can do that and do that efficiently, he'll be able to rebound and continue to put in that pressure. However, any sort of strategy where he tries to surprise his opponent is gonna come off a bit weak. The Owl Scout has been, well, scouting and keeping track of this army so easily, as he's an invulnerable unit, can't take any damage, and there's nothing you can really deal with him. At Lost Temple as a 1v1 map, well, you missed it. I made some points that about high ground versus low ground, something that we don't get to see very often. And perhaps a lot of the players aren't used to having to deal with strategies where high ground is a significant advantage, as your low ground units are perhaps constantly missing when you try to shoot up onto the high ground. It also reminds me back in 2002, maybe even, I think I was in the closed beta of WarCraft 3 back in 2002. And was able to play quite a few games. All right, Warsong Battle Drums, a perfect item for that Naga Sea Witch there, and that is going to give a big advantage to Barcode's army. Now, Remo's idea, I think, yeah, maybe being able to see high ground advantage was actually quite a bit shocking, as we saw the amount of misses happening. Does high ground count if flying units are flying above it? Yes, we saw that earlier. Coming back around, Priestess of the Moon, Alchemists, Huntresses, Archers, and now Druids of the Talent joining in on the battle to try and take down this Tree of Life. Repairs are already underway, as we're looking at, well, the Tree of Life here about to get taken down as well. Multiple arrows, 23 to 31 damage, plus 5 between the level 2 or level 1 True Shot Aura and weakened Warsong Battle Drums. Priestess of the Moon now going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal, both sides swapping and exchanging blows. They're taking down their opponent's, well, expansion. Main bases only have 2 minutes of mining left. To have Lost Temple as a 1v1 map, I mean, how do I fancy it? I'm actually enjoying it. It actually feels quite nice to see Lost Temple, a little bit of nostalgia there, to see Lost Temple back in play. I like the strategies. I like how the Teal Night Elf player is or maybe he's played a lot more games on Lost Temple recently than I have, but he seems to be using the map better than TGW, using higher hit point units and then rallying them to the Fountain of Health after a Staff of Preservation. So a definite advantages there. What's interesting, though, is the entire bottom left side of the map is completely not scouted by either side until now by TGW, who wants to make sure that there are no hidden expansions anywhere on the map. Archers galore. Scroll of Protection now coming back across, a little bit of a high ground advantage right there as the units are engaging again. Fountain of Health, however, could be a big deal here. Having a Fountain of Health behind you to regenerate is a very big deal. Staff of Preservation saving that unit right at the last moment. Staff of Preservation saving that unit there, as the priest or that one Huntress really did not stand a chance there at all. All right, I guess this is something where the math would have to come in. Who actually comes out ahead? Fountain of Health does help the Hippogriff Riders and their higher base hit points regenerate health faster, or is it the focus fire of the archers who can just burst down one of those units that quickly? We are looking at nearly a level 5 Fire Lord now, as the units are going to try and engage back and forth. There goes another, well, poor creep who, well, wakes up to see an army, fighting and a bunch of arrows taking him down. All right. Looks as though the Fountain of Health now held by TGW. Meanwhile, well, we are looking at Barcode guys sitting in high upkeep, even though it doesn't really matter since no one is mining right now. High upkeep just means you have a larger army. Coming back through, well, Hippogriff Riders with +5 damage. That Priestess of the Moon really needs to get to level 3 to make a dramatic difference and, well, boost up the overall damage output of the army here. Trying to get in creeping, however, has been a bit, well, difficult, as we're looking at, well, a flock of Hippogriff Riders who was separated from the group there. All right, trying to get in a little bit of damage, and now we are even looking at Fairy Fire being added in. All right, Druids of the Talon do deal significant air-to-air damage, 35 to 41. Thank you for the follow, as the Hippogriff Riders are able to pelt down and find, well, lone archers, just straggling archers, and, well, one volley is often enough to finish them off. All right, Orb of Venom damage. Archer already down to 180 hit points there. Hippogriff or Druid of the Town now come back the other way. We are looking at Fork Lightning coming across, and there's that level 2 Fork Lightning, well, making it easy to pick off some of those units. The archers are not going to be hanging out all that well. 90 over 90 compared to 73 over 80. Alchemist going to try and engage. There is an acid bomb there. Is it going to be able to finish off any of those units? No, it is not. Keeper of the Grove as that third and final hero to try and prevent, I guess, any of those channeling ultimate abilities, Starfall or Volcano or Tornado. I keep on calling it Monsoon or Tornado. How does a Sea Witch even know what a tornado is? Right? It's Monsoon or Water Spout. Yeah, Water Spout makes sense. Anyways, Fire Lord sitting at level 5 here. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 1. Quickly gets teleported back, and it only got teleported to the Tree of Eternity, which happened to be in the battle. Talk about, well, Staff of Preservation not doing what it's supposed to do. When you are at the Tree of Eternity, that damage doesn't really change anything right there. A pretty wild scenario overall. Don't see that happen very often. All right, coming back across, Fork Lightning trying to save. There's a Scroll of Town Portal. Scroll of Town Portal, you're going to teleport about 3 feet, but get some invulnerability right there. Teleporting behind again as the Tree of Eternity engaging in the battle. Scroll of Healing used there. Hippogriff Riders trying to pelt down as the Fire Lord has fallen at level 5. It got a little bit too close and too greedy, but was there experience given? I don't know. The Alchemist, I would have believed a level 5 hero getting taken down would have given more experience. It could have been that the Tree of Eternity actually got the last hit. All right, Tree of Eternity now going to try and stay alive here. There is a Tree of Life down to the south by TGW. He is mining easily. Meanwhile, where is that? Where are all of the other heroes fighting back around every which way? This is all rather strange and crazy, as the Priestess of the Moon wants to regroup, but it may have a difficult time here. All right, Tree of Eternity, well, needs one more arrow. There it goes. Gonna finally get taken down, giving level 3 to the Goblin Alchemist, as the Hippogriff Riders over here on the bottom side may try and clear out this Tree of Life, but there is one Ancient Protector there, a bit out of range. All right. Damage racking or getting added up onto those Hippogriff Riders. That piercing damage is rather effective. Level 2 Fork Lightning giving a level up to the Priestess of the Moon, and now suddenly the Priestess of the Moon giving +7 damage, or yeah, +7 damage to the other Hippogriff Riders between that True Shot Aura and those War Song drums. All right, talk about glass cannons. This is a glass cannon army all over the place. 23 to 31 damage before the Priestess of the Moon shows up. Now 31 to 39 damage per shot of those archers with that average attack speed. All right, it is only piercing damage though, so that piercing damage, well, is not effective against all of this fortified armor. But what is going to end up going down? Fountain of Health in the center, perhaps bringing a Tree of Life to the center, or a Tree of Eternity in the center. Firelord has been resurrected. Lava Spawns are now going to be joining in on the battle. We could be using those Wanda Mana Steal and trying to cast Inferno or Soul Burn onto the enemy heroes as they're trying to retreat back and retreat away down to 192 hit points. Healing Spray now being used, as well as some of those archers are going to get taken down. All right, Orb of Venom damage over time. Hippogriff Rider is taking quite a bit of damage. Staff of Preservation for the save there. Archers trying to pelt back the other way. 59 damage compared to 63, as the Ancients of Wind are even joining in on the battle. All right, more attacks getting underway. There goes another archer or two. Archers are just trying to lob attacks back. You can see all the arrows finding themselves in the wings of the Hippogriff Rider, as the Fire Lord could try and take down multiple units here. All right. There goes one archer. There goes another. This is just whoever's running away is often losing in real-time strategy games, and this seems to be the case here, as TGW losing multiple archers, and then now being forced to try to shoot back up onto high ground. A number of missed opportunities there again. All right. All of these Moonwells are full. The Moonwell capacity upgrade was also researched, and now these Hippogriff Riders are recharged and ready to go. Archers trying to retreat back. You can see so many low hit point archers here. One lucky Fork Lightning could really deal some terrible damage across all of these units here. Is the Naga Sea Witch going to find that positioning, though? That is the question, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal. There goes a Lava Spawn. Are we going to see some damage across multiple units? Fork Lightning? No Fork Lightning coming across from the Naga Sea Witch. Even though mana was available, that was a missed opportunity to take down at least one, if not up to three of those archers. Firelord making its way up to the high ground here, going to try and engage, take down the Ancient of Wonders. A little bit of missing, as it looks like some of the Hippogriffs were actually on the ramp, unable to find that target. Ancients of War now making their way back across here. And normally, I would say Lost Temple, there's a lot of creeping, a lot of clearing of the red creep camps, a lot of very powerful items. This is the most Lost Temple-y game I've seen that doesn't involve a large amount of creeping at all. None of the corner of the maps have been crept out, but this use of the high ground, the archers, the fast expansions, all classic Lost Temple play. This does look like a game from 2004, except for we have, did we have Tavern Heroes back in 2000? I don't think we had them in 2003. We may have had them in 2004. I don't think they were initially available right at the launch of Frozen Throne. Ancient of War now making their ways back again. Hippogriff Rider is going to try and engage. Firelord going to try and engage here. Tree of Life taking a bit of damage now, attempting to retreat back as it wants to, entangle that gold mine again. Also, Tree of Life trying to get operational here on the other side once more, as the units are just continuing to engage back and forth. Hippogriff Orb of Venom. There is 3 Orbs of Venom available. Keeper of the Grove doesn't have one, though, but at this stage in the game, he is probably so weak that and low on hit points that he would just get pelted down if he got too close on target. Entangles to perhaps try and slow down some of the enemy heroes to pick them off, but it hasn't really worked out well as of yet. Ancient of War, Ancient of Wind on their way to try and shut down that Tree of Life. There is a bit of soul burn on that Alchemist, taking a little bit of damage over time, as the Fire Lord, able to take down that Ancient of War right there. Tree of Life is not rooted, and the Tree of Life actually looks quite a bit tiny. Yeah, it looks rather small. Going to go ahead and root itself now and perhaps attempt to entangle that gold mine, which does have 3,200 gold. All right, Ancients of War now making their way, or Ancient of War and Ancient of Wind now making their way over. There is going to be some damage to be dealt. Units trying to use that high ground advantage again, but the archers are able to get in position once more. All right, Hippogriff Riders of Barcode Guide once again healing up, and all of the Moonwells are full once again for Barcode. So it really could come down to Moonwell management on who's going to win out. TGW does have some full Moonwells as well, but he hasn't been able to use those. He has not been able to use the Fountain of Health aggressively as a Barcode guy. Coming back around, Ancient of War and Tree of Life engaging against each other there. Both of them do have 7 armor. They're going to be fighting back and forth as the Hippogriff is going to be heading back over here to this Fountain of Health. All right, 2004 920 last Tavern Heroes added, Firelord and Alchemist. You know what? If they introduced new Tavern Heroes, I would be absolutely amazed to see that they actually created a new hero with a new kit and added it to the Tavern. All right, Priestess of the Moon going to try and engage. Tavern Heroes looking to retreat back here. Hippogriff Riders able to finish off that Ancient of War without a problem. Ancient of Wind could now get belted down, but this is a buying precious time for the Priestess of the Moon, Alchemist, and Keeper of the Grove to show up to the party and shut down this expansion. Tree of Life now down to 800 hit points and falling. Ancient of Wind going to go ahead and try and root here as the Hippogriff Riders are once more, well, going to get all hit with a nasty acid bomb there, and well, taking significantly more damage if the archers do lock on target. Lava Spawn now going to try and engage. One Lava Spawn quickly going to take out. Healing spray across all of the units here to try and keep them alive. Keeper of the Grove does get up to level 2. We could be seeing some Treants joining in on the fight here, perhaps to try and take down this haunted or this entangled gold mine. Archers continuing to fire back here. This is not your typical game whatsoever. 50 compared to 45. Both sides just trying to get back within the situation as the Naga Sea Witch's Fork Lightning really starting to rack up some stick and having that damage last on these units. Orb of Venom, well, Archer down to 1 hit point, not going to get taken down, going to get some more damage shut off across here. That Archer is still alive somehow as the Keeper of the Grove gets staffed up preservation. And, well, where is it going to teleport to? Back down to the south here. Archers still getting shut down here. 50 supply compared to 41. And now Barcode Guy is in a bit of trouble. Needs to heal up all of these Hippogriff Riders and perhaps try and re-engage again. Staff of Teleportation, Alchemist now coming back around once more. Acid Bomb. No, yeah. I believe that was an acid bomb. No, just an auto attack there. Both sides fighting their way through. Naga Sea Witch, Firelord continuing this pressure once again. Repairs are underway as the Tree of Life is fighting up against that Ancient of Wind. Both sides fighting around here. Archers, Firelord could be in trouble, down to 50 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal going to teleport back off to the north here. Needs to see a little bit of healing. There is the engagement here. Firelord purposely off to the north here. Alchemist falls at level 3 as the Firelord is still okay, at least for right now. Archers trying to find eyes on target and is going to be able to launch that last arrow. All right, nice little missile of a target there, taking it down. Fox 2? Taking down that, Firelord. Coming back around, Hippogriff Rider going to try and retreat here. Archers are still back around 38 supply compared to 24. TGW does seem to be in trouble losing that Firelord, but still having the losing the Firelord, losing the Alchemist and the Keeper of the Grove, but was able to take down the Firelord of Barcode Guy. Only a Naga Sea Witch and Priestess of the Moon are left. Trying to resurrect the hero. Firelord is getting resurrected the old-fashioned way, and, well, it looks as though this little bit of gold that is being provided by this entangled gold mine is actually worth something. Down to the south here, this gold mine has about 3 minutes of mining left. A second Ancient Protector getting added in. Priestess of the Moon is in position, and this is an interesting spot as, well, the Priestess of the Moon tried to use invisibility to attempt to use, perhaps drop a Starfall somewhere. If he drops a Starfall in the base and is able to take down that Altar of Elders, that would be absolutely game-changing. Here we are. There is a Owl Scout, and there is Starfall now inside the base. Altar of Elders is taking damage. It is random on where it hits, I believe, but wow, that Starfall is going to clear things up rather heavily. Altar of Elders down to 40 hit points, down to 23, down to dead right there. Fork Lightning trying to finish it off. Nothing to really take it down. So much damage across multiple buildings, and even though no other building was lost, losing the Altar of Elders was, well, absolutely crazy. Firelord now resurrected at the tavern instead, and gonna go ahead and move on over to the Fountain of Health to try and regenerate some hit points. All right, Firelord regenerating hit points, 46 over 90 supply. Priestess of the Moon are trying to get the job done as TGW's, all of his Moonwells are now completely bone dry again. All right, Firelord looking to venture forth, has a bit of damage on him still. Didn't didn't want to stay near that fountain of health too long, wanted to apply pressure and not allow his opponent to rebuild up his army. Barcode guy now making his way up the ramp here could find some moonwells, perhaps try and shut these things down here. The Goblin Alchemist down to the south, you can see that there was a purposeful attempt at defense. What is going on? Staff of Teleportation. Alchemist saves himself at 13 hit points and now is going to be drinking from those moonwells once more. Firelord now going after the Priestess of the Moon. Priestess of the Moon trying to Staff of Teleportation away. Not going to work, giving level 5 to the Naga Sea Witch. All right, Staff of Preservation going back the other way. Barcode guys still looking very, very strong here. 42 supply compared to 23, especially after taking down the level 6 Priestess of the Moon. Firelord, if it gets to level 6, you better believe the Keeper of the Grove will have to do a lot of strategy to make sure to not allow any channeling of a volcano or any of those other ultimate abilities. Archers now making their way over to the expansion here, but I believe this is all a last-ditch effort. TGW, in control of this game, short of a grave mistake on his part, should be able to come away with it as a new Tree of Life now being built down to the south. All right, all of the gold mine here at the 3 o'clock expansion location has been mined out. Meanwhile, archers are attempting to pelt down the entangled gold mine here at the 12 o'clock expansion location. And it's still slowly just ticking away. Treants making their way over. Tree of Life on the move as well. And still, the heroes are the things making the ultimate difference. Are no gold being mined by TGW, who really needs to get that priest or get that Priestess of the Moon back out onto the battlefield. Another archer could end up falling. It's gonna get taken down there, and now we are getting very close to a level 6 Firelord. Firelord continuing to chase archers, just running all the way around. TGW doing a little bit of last effort maintenance, or just trying to buy time for an expansion here. The bottom left-hand side of the map here, there's still creeps at this point on the map here as the Tree of Life is going to attempt to engage here. And now the Goblin Alchemist is going to be joining in on the battle. All right, Tree of Life going to be absorbing a little bit of damage there. Acid Bomb going across multiple units. Keeper of the Grove should be coming back around to entangle that gold mine. Priestess of the Moon is resurrecting. Priestess of the Moon is resurrecting and may be able to make its way out onto the battlefield here. There is an Ancient Protector, and the timing on this is going to be absolutely key. There are also plenty of Moonwells nearby for this Priestess of the Moon to try and drink from and try and survive. Priestess of the Moon is alive here, going to go ahead and engage. Is it going to try and Staff of Teleportation out? Yes, it is. It's going to go ahead and teleport away and perhaps attempt to set up a new base over here on the bottom left. More mining could get underway. Alchemist could get to level 4 as the Priestess of the Moon is going to try and head off into the center and try and heal up. 26 supply compared to 56 as we're looking at the Firelord, who is still only sitting at 5.8. Really, if he had his ultimate ability, could have cleared up this base rather quickly and efficiently. The Tree of Life of TGW now making its way over, clearing out another starting location here. And if TGW is able to find his position and find his footing, may be able to get back into this game economically, as the expansion off to the north only has about 4 minutes of mining left. TGW wants to hold on to this as much as possible. Alchemist sitting at level 4. Keeper of the Grove will be staying at level 3. Meanwhile, Ancient Protector quickly getting cleaned up there. 56 supply compared to 26. Army size difference. Very, very obvious and apparent as the Alchemist is going to try and engage here. One Ancient Protector in position here. Well, we're looking at multiple Hippogriff Riders attempting to take down that Tree of Life, and does exactly that. All right, units are still trying to retreat back. What is going back the other way? Alchemist now attempting to retreat back down. Where is the Priestess of the Moon? Priestess of the Moon down to the south here, needs to heal up before trying to engage. But I think that Priestess of the Moon is just going to get caught out in open field by either the creeps or the opposing Night Elf army. All right, a little bit of an engagement. 3 heroes in the center portion of the map trying to retreat away. A Staff of Preservation not going to really do much of anything. All of those Moonwells are pretty much bone dry. There's a Staff of Preservation right there. There's an Acid Bomb, trying to do a little bit of a departing gift there, as the Priestess of the Moon does get a Staff of Preservation down to try and save the Creeper of the Grove and that Alchemist, but no easy way to heal. They're just going to be grouped back together trying to fight back. All right. Alchemist needs to get a healing spray off, but no, not going to be able to do that. TGW unable to close out the game as, well, Barcode Guy, as I've been calling him, able to pull away with the victory right there. Larger army, great use of the Fire Lord early on, even mined a bit less gold than his opponent, but still was able to come away with the victory. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.